Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is IJ and this is my channel Tell IJ, where we talk about all things, real life issues, relationships, tips, tricks of life, travel and what have you, and stories of course. I just thought I'd jump in here to wish you once again a fantastic beginning of 2023. And if you're someone who struggled a lot in 2022, I want to pray and believe and say to you, believe God that your 2023 is going to be a better year. Anyway, without much ado, please hit the like button, subscribe to support my channel. And when you become a subscriber, sometimes you will get some surprise gifts from me. So make sure you become a subscriber to support my channel and share this with your friends and family. And I thought I'd just come in as it's just the we're towards the end of second week in January to encourage you in this year 2023. Whatever you were doing in 2022 that wasn't working for you, be it in terms of career or your business or your personal relationships or what have you, this is the time to seriously look into your own life and review it and make sure that you start off this year the way you intend it to be. Remember, life has no duplicate and time waits for no one. So let's take, for instance, if you are coming from a perspective of, I'm going to talk on personal relationships and business to help you, to inspire you. Some people do things like New Year resolution, I'm not going to eat this, I'm not going to do that. I've never been one for New Year resolutions, but what I do know is for every new year that comes, I always, even beforehand, make up my mind what path I want to go with something, because I think sometimes we will put a strict New Year resolution on ourselves, especially when it comes to food or people trying to lose weight. I know it's not easy, but rather than put a resolution on yourself, which is like putting onus onto yourself, what I want to say to you is, why don't you try more like trying to do things, in moderation? That's what I'm saying. Do things in moderation. When you do things in moderation, psychologically, you're more able to carry that thing through without feeling like there's a pressure on you to maintain this way of eating or this way of doing things and all that. Now, coming to a relationship-wise, whether you're in a romantic relationship or relationship with family or with friends, this is my tip I want to say to you. Whatever you were doing or whoever was hurting you or whatever situation was hurting you last year, the year before, or what have you, first of all, do not get angry about things, because anger literally steals your peace. But what you want to say to yourself is that this year, 2023, I am going to do things differently, because after all, what is the point of doing what you were doing before if what you were doing was not working? So, for example, if you're in a difficult personal, intimate relationship and you feel you have not been happy for a while, this is not working, but you're gripped with fear, I want to say to you, please believe in yourself. You are special. You are unique. There's a reason God made you. And God did not make you that you need someone else to have to feel like you're somebody. That somebody else has to make you feel like you're happy within yourself. Do you understand? There's a big difference. I'm not saying we don't need companionship, we don't need, company, we don't need, intimate relationships. It is good, providing is going well. I'm talking to those of you who have been struggling. And if the situation you've been struggling with is not letting your spirit rest, then that relationship is not for you. And this year, this beginning of this year, is a time to take back charge in your life. Get rid of that fear. Don't worry about the unknown. And if you are a great believer in prayer like I am, know that God himself promised you tomorrow. For tomorrow we do not know, but put your trust in God. God will put you in the right path, because if the situation you are in now had been a good one, trust me, you will feel it in your spirit, and peace. You will know that peace. So my advice to you is, be brave. Stop things now, because for every day you're hanging into a situation that does not favor you is a day wasted in finding your true happiness. And if it's in terms of, we all have a lot of complicated family relationships all over the world, especially those of us from Africa or Nigeria or Ghana or Kenya, whatever. Whatever that situation in that family issue is, whoever that is, in your heart is clean. Please do not let a family member or somebody or a friend ruin your peace, because no matter what you do in this life, I promise you one thing, you will never satisfy everyone. People will always talk, whether you're doing good or not. Haters will be haters, and there'll be very few people in life who will genuinely love you. And let me tell you something you need to know, especially when it comes to friendship and family relationship. And family, I mean whether it's your sibling, your cousin, your uncle, your auntie. If someone truly loves you the way they claim, because most people use the word love, some people don't even use love, but they're so full of ego, especially in our African toxic cultures, that they don't even understand the meaning of love. But one thing I promise you is this: anybody worth staying in your life who loves you genuinely will not hold grudges against you past a few months. In fact, anybody who truly loves you, I don't care who that person is, because in love, as the Bible says, love, we should love as our neighbors, as I said, love your enemies. Not just enemies, your family shouldn't be your enemy, but of course we know there are families where, whether you like it or not, somebody will pick you up and make you their enemy. But what even the Bible itself says that love knows no arrogance. And when you love someone, it doesn't matter even if you're the president of the world. Guess what? Your love in your heart will always surpass looking at someone else, whether you feel they should be below you because you're older or because your position. No. If somebody really loves you and is meant to be in your life, and let's be honest, we're all human beings. We've all wronged one another, okay? And maybe you're that kind of person. If you're like me, you probably have tried, over time, despite the fact that you feel you've been wronged. I hear you, I know your pain, but it's time to let it go. Because when somebody truly loves you, they don't hang on to something they feel you've done. They will raise it with you, because that's my personal belief, and that's the way I raise my children. But I do understand also, in the toxic African way, some people, when you try to raise an issue, because that's, especially for those of us who are a bit more exposed, I don't think you have to live abroad to understand in today's world. Because even friends I have who are not living abroad, I always use the word, we are all doing intentional parenting. Therefore, I expect any man or woman who's half educated, half traveled, half exposed, to understand that you cannot carry certain toxicity of a culture and call it, or of a society and call it culture. So what am I saying? What I'm saying is that if somebody or some situation with a family member or friend has been making you unhappy last year, this is a new year. Let go. Let go doesn't mean you're angry with them, or of course it's disappointing, but at a time, this is your life. Because for every day you allow an issue bother you, it's a day means being happy. Some people are in this life very miserable, and what I want to say is that anybody who means well for you, okay, will not let a grudge pass more than 1 or 2 months or 3. If they really love you, and if that person, you feel, whether you're the person who feels you're the victim or the perpetrator, and somebody comes to you and says, this is what you've done to me, you should not take it like it's an insult. It's not an insult talking. In fact, where people are free to discuss things or disagree, it's a place where people thrive better. The moment somebody is making you feel like you cannot air your grievances or your opinion or whatnot, that, my dear, we call it abusive situation, and that to me is what we call control. And nobody, not even your own child, will want you to control. Think about it yourself, because I know how you probably are watching this and you're feeling betrayed by someone, you're feeling angry, you're feeling confused, and I want to say to you, stop feeling confused. And sometimes that person that's causing that confusion, in my little experience, sometimes they may not have even had the decency to say to you, this is what you've done to me. They use actions. Then the more they use actions, and you yourself are probably using actions to show kindness, but the kindness they misinterpret it to be weakness. And that is where many African family relationships and friendships go wrong, because you cannot use action to correct or expect somebody to know what they've done wrong. It's called communication. Okay, communication. You cannot expect somebody to smell their fingers. And apart from communication, yes, action speaks louder than words. If somebody has wronged you and all you've done is being kind to them and they continue being strange and continue to backstab you, my dear, all you can do, I say to you, pray for them, release yourself, forgive them, because forgiveness takes away any kind of weight. It's not you. Is them, because if they truly loved you, they will make things up with you. But if they don't love you and there's some kind of bitterness that they themselves can't help, my dear, you can buy them the world, you can do all you like, and guess what? You will get more hurt and more and more and more. You know why? Because you and that person are not putting in the same energy. And the same goes for even when there is a personal relationship. So what am I saying? Whether you're in a romantic relationship or a family situation or with a friend, be kind. Learn to communicate more. And if someone is doing something you don't like, don't go into 2023 like you've done to the years before, and before you know it, one year goes into 2 years, 3 years, 4, and where does that bitterness get you? Because at the end of the day, you're not God. You're not going to stop that person breathing. You may go around like some narcissistic people. You go around spreading lies about this person, and where in the end would that get you? And my biggest question I ask myself, I ask anyone watching, God forbid, none of us knows when we'll leave this earth. And you meet God suddenly. And you've been going around pretending to be the nicest person, but meanwhile your heart has been so dark towards your friend, towards your wife, towards your husband, towards your ex, towards your brother, towards your sister. Do you think you could fool God the way you've been fooling men on earth? So, simply said, do unto others what you intend them to do unto you. Do not go around in your high and mighty and think that everybody owes you to bow down to everything you want. And it's not about control. Where love is, there shouldn't be control. And sometimes, if you're the jealous type, I want to speak into your spirit and say, take a step back, take a breather. Ask yourself, what is that bitterness I've been holding on to my friend, my sister, my ex-wife, my ex-wife, whatever it is. And sometimes if you look back, the devil is at work in you. That's what you're not seeing, because there's nothing, I promise you, that brother, sister, friend has done to you that you have not wronged, probably them, but you don't realize that they've been sucking up a lot, tolerating a lot from you, or you have done to someone else. Unless you're that kind of person who just enjoys sadistic moments and you like to think you're Mr. Big Man, Big Woman, whatever your problem is. I implore you to receive God, be positive, okay? Because bitterness gets you nowhere. So go into 2023 Be positive, believe in yourself, and if you find a relationship that is not working out for you, it's okay. It's not everyone that will get along. That's the truth. Because sometimes some of us, you spend too much time trying to build a relationship when somebody's heart is not there. You're always giving emotionally, financially, everything, but the other person is not. And the reason it hurts you more is because you were the one only invested, not the other person. Because if the other person was invested as you are, trust me, you have even a more loving, peaceful relationship. And that's not to say you go around bearing grudges. I don't like to bear grudges. But bearing grudges doesn't mean you see something that's not good for you, or where somebody is clearly a bitter person and you put your head. All you can do is continue to pray for their soul, for God to open their eyes and see the errors in their ways. Because at the end of the day, we have all sinned before God, and we have all wronged every man or woman. None of us, even me speaking, none of us are perfect. And at the end of the day, the problem a lot of us face is that a lot of people do not communicate. Somebody could carry a grudge and go around telling a million people behind you, but they haven't even told you what you've done wrong to them. And that also tells you that truly deep down they know you've not done anything to them. Because if you have and they truly love you, they come to you. Anyway, let me stop here. I don't want this video to go over. I want you to check out my next video where I want to talk in terms of business. Should you be tired and looking to do something different from what you've been doing the years previously? But in terms of your personal relationship, I advise you, build a stronger and closer relationship with God. Trust me. Even those of you who don't believe in God, I implore you, give it a chance. Give it a chance, because when you believe in God and when you know God and come closer and closer and understand God's words through the Bible and how God talks to us, it helps you to soften your heart more towards your fellow human being. Because at the end of the day, the only one that will judge us is God. And the only one that can say he has never done anything wrong, who is mightier than all, is God. And when you have God, it also lays a foundation. At those times when you feel betrayed by the very people you thought will have your back, when you feel low, when you feel sad, when you feel confused, you know that God himself is right by your side. Anyway, on this note, please go into 2023. Be positive. Let go of all those negative feelings, negative relationships, and be positive and surround yourself with people who truly, truly care and love you. Not people who say they love you, but their actions are showing the opposite. Actions speak louder than words. If they love you, let them show it. And love does not do anything other than forgiveness, whether the person feels that they are the ones wronged or they have wronged. But it's often in my experience, the people that have wronged people, and they're very good liars, that seem to know how to hold grudges more. But either way, I want to wish you once more a fantastic 2023, and may all peace, joy, happiness transcend across all your relationships, whether you're in an intimate relationship, platonic relationship, office relationship. Just treat one another with respect, love, and dignity. Bye-bye. And please subscribe and hit the like button and share this with your friends and family. And on this note, my name is IJ, and this is my channel, Tell IJ. And thank you for stopping by.